Hey there, Carolina Gilcapi from State Adventures here. I want to take just a few moments of your time and go over this itinerary for Peru for your clients. And going over it together will help you understand what changes we can make, how flexible it is. It is truly your client's itinerary. We will make any tweaks needed. So let me share my screen and you will be able to see this itinerary. I'm sending you the PDF version as well. So let's go through it just so I can show you what is possible in Peru, because this is one of those countries where you can go back many times. I was actually there last week for my 6th trip. So definitely a place you can visit over and over. Uh, so we will start with Lima. They will take their international flight into Lima, Peru. And as you see, I put day 1 here, but I didn't put a date because they can literally travel any day of the year. And we will check all the availability and everything like that. So just let me know what interests them. When do they want to travel? Peru has really 2 seasons, dry season and rainy season or wet season. Don't let that scare you, because besides February, I would not hesitate to travel any other month of the year. February tends to be the rainiest and some of the trails are closed, so I would avoid that month. But the rest of the year is fantastic for traveling. Summer months, June, July, August, September being peak season because it is a hiker's paradise. So keep that in mind. But let me know what dates are of interest to your clients, and we will adjust, and I will tell you what it would look like there, how to pack and how to prepare for sure. So once they arrive in Lima, they will look for a sign with their names on it, and my team will be on the ground waiting for them. My driver, my guide, English speaking, they will be prepared with the client's itinerary and waiting for them with little snacks and waters to take them to their hotel. On this particular itinerary, I chose Hotel B. Hotel B is one of those awesome boutique properties. It was an old gallery or an old mansion, really, that's been redone into a really unique hotel. It feels like a museum. So you walk through room to room, and there's just gorgeous art, local art all over the walls, beautiful restaurants, beautiful bars. They do pisco sour lessons, they do cooking classes, they do all sorts of fun things right in the property. So it's a really great atmosphere. And their rooftop bar is one of the hippest places to be in Lima. Lima is a big city. There's a downtown and there's Miraflores, and you want to put clients in the Barranco Miraflores area because that's where all the restaurants are. It's on the ocean. So this is in Barranco. That's why Hotel B. And then Miraflores, we have a number of other hotels. So you let me know what budgets clients are on, and then we will adjust the hotels. So once they arrive, they go to sleep. Usually most flights arrive in the evening. Day 2 is when we explore Lima. So on every day, I put a BL or BLD. That stands for the meals I've already included for your clients. So on this day, they have breakfast at the hotel and then lunch during the tour. So the way we do our tours is not only will we see all the highlights, the Larco Museum, the square, the main square, the Lovers Park, but we will also go on a gourmet tour of Lima, where we go to the markets, we go tastings, we have our first pisco sour, we go to a beautiful ruins that have a restaurant right in the middle of them, and you can have a beautiful meal there. So we will incorporate all of that for your clients. This is obviously private, goes at their own pace. There's always a car available, so they can walk as much as they want, and then they can be in the car as much as they want as well. And then tonight, if they would like, we can make them a reservation at one of Lima's best restaurants. There is El Central. It's the #1 restaurant in the world right now, but also Maido, Maita. There's so many wonderful places to eat in Lima, so we can get them a nice table so they can enjoy that, because Peru is a culinary center in South America, so they don't want to miss that. Even if they're not foodies, they will enjoy this experience. There's in Central, they'll have like a 16-course, tiny courses meal where they travel all around Peru through a plate. So really fun experience. Let me know if you are interested, and I'll give you more information on that. Day 3, we will head to the Andes. We will take a flight to Cusco. It's about a 1 hour flight. And then once we're in Cusco, because it's really high altitude there, we take our clients right to Sacred Valley for the first 2 nights. Why? Because they are about 2,000 feet lower, and that will help them acclimate, breathe better. And of course, Sacred Valley is filled with ruins, Inca sites, markets, indigenous villages. So we like to kind of start with that kind of aspect to the tour, acclimate easier, but also be able to see some sites before we get to the highlight of Machu Picchu. So day 3 is we take you to the Lima airport, fly to Cusco, pick you up with our Cusco team, and head into the Sacred Valley. We will stay there for 2 nights, but on the way, we like to visit some sites that will give you an idea of the Sacred Valley without being without having strenuous activity. So we go to Maras Morai, which is Inca laboratories and salt mines. We go to Chinchero, which is a beautiful community of women that have really dug their village out of poverty using their weavings and coloring of natural dyes. They do a beautiful presentation. It's a great stop, doesn't require hiking or any strenuous walking, but will give you a really good glimpse into life in the Sacred Valley. We will have lunch at Iskay Moras. This is a farm to table place. It's our friend that is a local chef that opens her home to our guests. It's a great experience. I was just there last week. So it's a really nice, Sacred Valley meal, because it's going to be potatoes and quinoa and all those beautiful flavors of the Andes. And then you relax in the hotel at the Inca Terra Hacienda Urubamba. Again, this is a hotel I chose for this itinerary, but there are a number of beautiful properties in the Sacred Valley, and we can discuss them depending on clients' interest and budget. This hotel I love because they use all local woods and colors. You look out the window or out through the patio and you see these beautiful Andean, the range of the mountains. So you know that you're in Peru. You feel like you're in Peru, and I really love it for that. And then because you're kind of in the middle of nowhere, as you see in this picture, we include dinner at the hotel. That way you don't have to worry about trying to figure out, where am I going to go eat? Do I have to eat at the hotel and figure out the menu, or do I have to take a taxi to the nearest town? We take care of it for you, and we like to do that. If there are places nearby, we often give you an opportunity to explore. But if you're in the middle of nowhere, then we kind of arrange it for you so that you don't have to worry about it. And that way you'll get that chef's menu, you'll get a great tasting, probably guinea pig will be on the menu. So that's always fun for clients to taste as well. The next day, we continue to acclimate, and it's our Sacred Valley full day tour. So we like to do some traditional places that are on people's bucket list, like Ollantaytambo. It's a huge fortress and it's a thriving town. And then we like to take people to a more remote destination like Misvinay. This is a community that State Adventures sponsors. So every client that visits Peru, we sponsor this community. This will really truly show you what life in the Andes is like. They will invite you to their home. They will cook a Pachamanca ceremony lunch for you, which is all cooked underground. You will hear their singing. You will hear all about their daily life, the shaman doing a ceremony out in the mountains. We can go hiking. We can go to the fields. We customize this day according to you. So it's a really, really nice experience, very unique, no busloads of people. This is truly a village that just goes on with its life, and we kind of stop in for the day. So a really nice place. Then we go back to the hotel, same hotel we've been in for the 2 nights, and have dinner there. Day 5 is when we go to Machu Picchu. And I'm going to pause here for a second, because if your clients are interested in other areas of Peru, like the Amazon jungle, like Arequipa and the Colca Canyon, like Lake Titicaca, all of these places can be incorporated. And it is really important to discuss that with me, because we can talk about altitude and kind of building the itinerary in steps so that you are visiting and, enjoying it without having altitude sickness. So that's really important if the clients do want to expand the itinerary to a longer trip. Day 5 is when we go to Machu Picchu. So again, many different permit options, many different train options. This is how I'm going to build this itinerary. We're going to take you to the train station in the morning, and we're going to ride the Vista Dome train. even though there are beautiful upgraded trains, this is only about an hour and 20 minutes from Sacred Valley because we're halfway there, right? We're not starting in Cusco. It's only an hour and a half. So I think the Vista Dome is the perfect train. It's beautiful leather chairs. It has the glass dome ceilings. You get served coffee and a snack. An hour and a half goes by very quickly. It's beautiful views outside the window, and you're in Aguascalientes, which is the village of Machu Picchu. Once you arrive in Aguascalientes, you will be picked up by the porters of the hotel. There'll be a sign with your name on it. There's also going to be like 500 people getting off the train, which gets very intimidating and crazy, but we try to streamline it and make it as easy as possible. So we pick you up from the train station, take your bags to your hotel for you, and you just head straight to the ruins. So you're avoiding the crowds, you're avoiding going to hotels where the rooms are not even ready yet, and you go straight to the Citadel, which is the key and the point of coming to Machu Picchu in the first place. So that is how the trip is built. Once you have your tour of Machu Picchu ruins, which will just be your first visit, you will have a beautiful lunch arranged for you, and you will come back to the village. Now the room is ready. Now we check into the hotel and you can rest. The room that I chose for you is the Inca Terra Machu Picchu Pueblo. It's in the village. I love this hotel. This used to be the #1 hotel in Peru for me, and it's top 10 in the world. It's in acres and acres of gardens and jungle-like atmosphere. It's really beautiful. The rooms are stunning. They build a fire for you. There's hummingbirds. They do walking tours in the afternoon. Beautiful lunch, beautiful dinner, beautiful breakfast and dinner included. Lunch too, but you're going to be at the ruins, so you're most likely not going to have lunch here, but it's a great property. There are others. There are hotels that we can take a step down, or we can think about staying at Sanctuary Lodge, which is the only hotel at the gate of the ruins. Why would we stay at the Sanctuary Lodge? Why would we upgrade to that one? Is because we would avoid shuttling back and forth to the village. That's the only reason why you would stay up there. So let's discuss if that's something that would work for your clients. But I have stayed here multiple times and I loved it. So they will be very happy at the Inca Terra if they choose this property. Now, day 6 is our day where we're going to go back to the ruins. A lot of people visit Machu Picchu for only one time and then they leave. The reason I hate that plan is because A, it is the highlight. It is the reason you're coming to Peru. And B, this is a jungle kind of cloud forest atmosphere. So it can rain here. It can be very cloudy. So if you arrive in the afternoon the day before and it's cloudy, that's the only photos you're going to have. That's the only experience you're going to have. So it's really important to allow yourself a second visit. The second reason for that is there are so many wonderful places to hike. So that's Huayna Picchu is that big famous peak in the back. There's Uchuy Picchu, which is about half the size, a nice, easy hike up. Then there's Machu Picchu Mountain, and then there's the Sun Gate. So there are 4 different hikes that we can discuss. We can discuss to incorporate into this day, or you can do another tour. The ruins of Machu Picchu are split between 4 or 5 even different circuits. So every day we would do a different circuit so you can do different parts of the city. Why is that? Because so many people have now added Machu Picchu to their bucket list. There are so many visitors that we have to control it somehow and make sure the ruins are here for many generations to come. So it's very controlled. After the tour, we'll have a beautiful lunch again. We can do it at the Sanctuary Lodge. We could do it in the village. And then you will take the train back to Cusco now. And that's going to be the Hiram Bingham train, which is the luxury train with dinner on board, a really lovely white glove experience. So ask me about that as well if you have questions, because I have done all the different trains and I can tell you what is what and how it works. The train is about 2 hours and 20 minutes or so if we go all the way to Cusco. And that's another thing to ask me, because different seasons are different stations. So sometimes it would only go to Sacred Valley and only be an hour and a half. So again, we can discuss that once we have dates for your clients. Once you're in Cusco, we pick you up and take you to your hotel. For this particular itinerary, I chose the JW Marriott. I really like this hotel. It's kind of fun because they took an old monastery and they remade it into a hotel. The JW Marriott had a hard time opening this property because every time they started digging up, they would find new Inca relics, and archaeologists would kind of swarm the place, close it down, and it took them 8 years to open. And the only reason they were able to open is because they incorporated everything they found into the hotel. So it still looks like a monastery, and there's still Inca walls inside, and there's a museum downstairs that has pottery and everything that they found while digging. Super fun. They do free tours of the property with a local monk to show you what it looks like. In the morning, they have local community women come with their weavings and even with the baby alpacas. So it's a really great little property, but of course has all the amenities of a JW Marriott. Cusco is filled with beautiful hotels, and I can tell you all about the other ones as well. So let me know what your style is or what the clients are looking for, and we can discuss. And now day 7, our last day on the itinerary, is Cusco. So I allow clients to kind of sleep in today. Don't meet your guide at 9 a.m. It's going to be your first day where you really get to unwind, enjoy a beautiful leisurely breakfast, and then meet your guide in the afternoon, perhaps at noon. Do a tour of all the sites of Cusco, which is a fantastic city. And then, because now we're acclimated, now we're feeling amazing, we're going to do a little walking tour. And we call that a cocktail tour, but it doesn't have to be a cocktail tour. It could be a mocktail tour. It could be a tasting tour. But we'll go to multiple restaurants or bars. We'll enjoy different treats along the way. And it kind of gives you a feel of, okay, I'm part of Cusco now. I'm living like a local. And it's a great experience. I just did that last week as well. And then tonight, to wrap up this itinerary, I've included Map Cafe. This is the pre-Columbian museum. When it shuts down, our clients are able to go in, enjoy the museum all by themselves, which is super experience. It's kind of spooky because it's dark outside and these amazing rooms filled with relics. And then inside the museum, there's a kind of glassed-in building, and that is the restaurant, and you will have a beautiful farewell dinner here in this restaurant. So all of that is included. And then day 8, you fly home. Now, if you have some time, and if you have been thinking about Lake Titicaca, and if you love trains, this is the place to add 2 more nights to your itinerary and go down to Lake Titicaca using the Belmont train, the Andean Explorer. So there are different ways. We can do a train that you can sleep on, and we can do a train that you just take for the day and then sleep in a hotel. So this itinerary has the train for the day. It looks like this, and it has it has an open car in the back where you can sit on leather couches and just watch the scenery go by. And then once you arrive in Puno, which is the Lake Titicaca train station or town, we take you to a really amazing place called Titilaca. It is like an archipelago, or not archipelago, sorry, a little peninsula that juts out into the Lake Titicaca right on the lake, and they take it from there. They have their own guides, their own boats. They do their own excursions. They make bonfires at night. They have amazing meals, beautiful dawn and dusk rooms. So a really great experience to wrap up the day. If you are interested in adding Lake Titicaca, let me know because I can add it to this itinerary. Of course, you're going to visit Uros Islands and Taquile, all the highlights of Lake Titicaca on it, and then fly home on day 10 instead of day 8. So that is the itinerary. I'll stop there. Everything on the itinerary is included, from the internal flights to their seats, the taxes, to all the luggage prepaid. Our guides are English speaking, they're licensed and super passionate about the place that they're from. We include hotels with taxes and breakfast, all the meals BLD as I specified. All the transportation is done with our own guides, our own drivers, our own vehicles. Super important. This is not taking taxis. This is not figuring things out along the way, which is fine. A lot of people do that as well. Peru is a very safe country, but we try to take the stress out of the experience. All the entry tickets, the permits, the train tickets, the circuits to Machu Picchu, we prearrange all of that. Why? Because they sell out. This is the #1 problem in Peru right now for our clients. What is not included? Meals that I maybe haven't listed on the itinerary, and that's because I want you to explore on your own. International flights, but we have an air department and we can add it. Tipping, which is at your discretion. and travel insurance, which we are licensed with Alliance, and I can definitely send you a quote for that as well. We just love everybody to be protected just in case you sprain an ankle or something happens along the way. We want you to have coverage. So I will stop sharing my screen now. That's quite a long video, but I hope this helped you kind of visualize what Sade Adventures can do for you and your clients in Peru. Happy travels.